You there. Come speak with me.
De Veith Farve. Beer.
Dauntless companion
Farve.
from the Clockwork
Beer.
City. Bounding from one mysterious realm to another, I see. This is fortuitous.
Yes.
I find myself in need of someone with your skills.
What do you need me to do?
I recently discovered that someone intends to auction off Mephalah's chief artifact, the Ebony Blade.
Ooh.
I hardly thought such a thing possible, but I leave nothing to chance. As soon as I began making inquiries, House Hexos cancelled the auction.
You think they canceled the auction on account of you, though?
I am the foremost authority on Daedric artifacts and the greatest mage of our era. So yes, I'm quite confident they're trying to hide the weapon from me. A fool's errand. If you choose to assist me in finding the blade, I will pay you handsomely.
All right, I'll help you find the Ebony Blade, which every time we deal with this blade, it ends up in, like, I don't know, like somebody gets all sad and upset.
Our first order of business is investigating the auction house. It's just there, near the Nereids fountain. Gather testimony, correspondence, anything you can. When you've discovered enough, meet me in the market near the Shamble's north entrance.
What can you tell about it, huh?
It is an artifact of the dread teacher Mephalah. At first glance, it resembles a katana carved from obsidian. But I assure you, it is far more than a simple sword. It is the lady's malice in physical form, a life-devouring instrument of murder.
What will you do once you find it?
Do I detect some suspicion in your voice? If we recover the Ebony Blade, I will do what I do with all the dangerous relics I acquire. Keep it safe. I assure you, there is no one better equipped to safeguard a terror like this.
My guess is Mephalah doesn't want that. She wants it out there in the mortal realm, like killing people. You been staying busy?
Ha! Rest is a luxury the ambitious cannot afford. My business in the Clockwork City, while important, accounts for only a fraction of my grand design. I have interests in realms across the Orbis, including this one.
You sell a skeleton key?
On my person? No. I know better than to wander the streets of Fargrave with an artifact like that jangling around in my pocket. But it is quite safe. I gave Seal my word I would keep it out of the Daedra's hands. I always honor my agreements.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to a few jobs for the faith. It's coming in tomorrow. Congrats, Hamburger. Hopefully it's everything you wanted. Let's search for clues here. Patrons.
Going once, going twice, sold to the scoffin' in the middle. Do be careful with that item, sir. Now, help yourselves to some refreshment while my associates collect the next items up for auction.
Curious Hexos, chief connoisseur of the House of Hexos Trade Consortium. From Fontescavia, House of Hexos chief operations. Well, dear sister, couldn't have gone better. Just returned from a rather terrifying conversation with the High Commander of Ardent Hope, an inflexible Jamora by the name of Valkens Novarez. Apologies. I know how confusing you still find the Jamora and their outlandish conventions. Novaraz is his name, and Valkines is his title. Think of it as something between a prince and general, and you'll be close. Anyway, Novaraz commands the most powerful of the fortress in the Deadlands. He's one of Majoran's Dagon's most important servants, and he knows it. Anyway, you might recall we recently sent a junior trader, Thalver Sultan, with my crew, and a wagon of wretched to the wretched spire for a load of malignant barbrite roots with some of the locals to gather for us. You know what kind of profits their plans bring to Tavani Maze. Farava's teams never returned, so I headed to the Wretched Spine to investigate. There I learned that our employees were taken prisoner by the patrol of Jamora shortly after they departed with some of their load. They were marched off to Argent Hope. I made some arrangements with our usual facilitators and obtained a writ of safe passage to negotiate Farava's release. I met with Norfres in the Citadel's audience hall, which frankly would put some of the throne rooms in Tamriel to shame. The Valkynes stand a head taller than any other Jamora I've ever met, with broad shoulders and red eyes and positively glittering with contempt for his lessers. Many of their kin are stern and cruel even, but rarely have I felt such pure malice. Even with my promise to safe passage, I found myself wondering whether I would even leave the chamber alive. Well, Nokris said by way of greeting, my subordinates tell me that you're some sort of merchant and you want to make a deal with me. I have no patience for either mortals or merchants, so speak swiftly. I decided to skip the pleasantries. Yes, Valkamez. I represent House Hexos of Fargrave. You always detained some of our retainers in the Wretched Spire. Firefore, Stolten, and 3 others. I'm here to seek their release. No. Norfres stroked his black horns jutting from his chin, but did not seem amused in the least. They are where they belong. I only spared their lives so they might toil for the Prince Dagon. Haha, I thought. I heard that Valkynes was new to his post, the Jomar returns anyways, having taken the command of Ardent Hope after the mysterious disappearance of his predecessor. I figured he was looking to establish some new expectations for some sort of bribes and fees that could pay to operate the territory he controlled. Sure, we can offer you something greater value for the 4 common laborers in exchange for their return, I said. Customary, I began, but Nokris cut me off. I want nothing from your so-called house. That flummoxed me. Then why have you taken them? Norfaraz glowered at me. It offended my sensibilities to hear mortals wandering this well with impunity. I will not permit it. This has never been a problem before, I protested. What has gone on before is no concern of mine, he said. If you care about these mortals in your employ, keep them out of the Deadlands. What about the Order of the Waking Flame, I asked. Your legion permit them to come and go from their various holdings throughout the Deadlands. Do not speak to me about the Waking Flame, Norfred snarled as shot to his feet. I retreated 3 steps without even thinking about it. It pleases Lord Dagon to let a few crumbs fall off his table for those sniveling mortals. I myself have no use for them. The moment the Lord tires of playing with mortal cultists, I shall gladly purge them from all the Deadlands, just as I purged all you foolish merchants. Or do you find my decisions unjust? I have felt that, safe passage or not, I was very close to joining poor Fervor in what was an awful situation he was stuck in. I would like to think that we do everything that we can to help out our employees to get out of who get into this sort of trouble, but talking Valkynes into making me as new as drudge didn't seem to help anybody, least of all me. Of course not, Valkynes, I replied with care. I thank you for making your position clear. I'll see to it that no more people will trouble you here. With your permission? Norfres made a small sound of disgust and waved me away without another word. So there it is. Given that Valkham's uncooperative attitude, I think we need to modify our operations in the Deadlands. Until we figure out which local commanders can be persuaded to look the other way, we better use intermediaries and freelancers. And I'm afraid that we'll need to make customary payments to the rest of the next of kin of Fireforce Stolen and his team. I don't think we're going to see them again. Well, you fuck with cultists.
Always a pleasure to see a fellow mortal. These Daedric types, well, they're overly creepy, eh? But look at me, babbling away. Sorry, quick tongue, you know, comes with the profession. Here for the auction? Nothing but first-rate goods here.
I'm looking for something specific. You heard of something called the Ebony Blade?
The Ebony Blade? Well, that's, you know, not really my area of expertise. Daedric artifacts, I mean. Then again, there is a small errand that needs doing, a personal matter, you see. You help me with that, and my memory might improve.
I got a blade of my own that might jog your memory.
There's no need for that. I was just joking. A couple of Scoffins showed up not long ago, so they had to stow it away in the Hexos Gallery vault, in the shambles. Just don't tell anyone I told you, all right?
Mm-hmm. Do I still need to look for clues here? Oh, that's a nice little display case. Crystal key. Merchandise retrieval order. Priority. Urgent. Auction house staff. By order of Gallery Hexos, we will delay the auction of the sale of M62124, the Ebony Blade. The item has attracted undue interest from the member of the House Tavani, and management prefers to wait until this mage leaves Fargrave before proceeding with the sale. Please package the item and prepare for transport. Scoffin agents Vergo and Hizola will arrive within the day's time to collect it. Direct any additional inquiries to the staff office. In Hexos' name, Favia Mornia. All right, let's go talk to Devaith. What's Devaith doing way back out there?
Disaster is coming! Fargrave is doomed!
It's carved in the shape of a sundial. Clever.
That is so, yes.
Ah, timely as ever. What did you discover in the auction house?
Simple.
They moved the Ebony Blade to Hexos Vault in the Shambles to hide it from the Telvanni.
The Telvanni? Then it's as I suspected, foiled by my own renown. Again. Well, there's no use dwelling on it. Did you find anything else?
Yeah, a crystal key that I just stole, I guess.
A key? Yes, that might come in handy. Can I just say how refreshing it is to find competent allies? A rare luxury, I assure you. Make your way to the Shambles. There's a Hexos storehouse near the center of the district. Check there first.
You're not coming with me?
You needn't worry. I'll be along soon enough. A fair warning, the Shambles is a lawless slum, full of far worse things than mortal indigence. Prepare yourself.
What do you think about Hexos Vault in the warehouse that you mentioned?
The size, mostly. Those Hexos Noirs are quite clever, by Imperial standards. They operate a number of warehouses in Fargrave, but only one of them is large enough to contain a vault of any appreciable size. I suppose we'll find out soon enough.
Mm-hmm. By the way, this bazaar reminds me of a EverQuest bazaar way back in the day. I mean, more stylized and everything, but I'm just saying that it gives me that feeling, you know? Let's go to the shambles. Oh yeah, this place is rough, isn't it? Everyone's going in their warehouse.
No surprise. Do you have that key near to hand? Have a go at this. Well done. Now, let's see what they're hiding in there. There. The Ebony Blade. Claim it.
Is that a good way to store it? Obsidian blade etched with the digital motifs, hailing of Mafala, the Spider Queen.
As I suspected. Let's have a look at this so-called artifact, shall we? The fabled sword of leeches here within my grasp. I have my doubts. May I?
Have a look. Is this a real one? Doesn't seem like it.
Eerily sharp, masterfully etched, and completely fake. This is a forgery. A brilliant one, I admit, but a forgery nonetheless. While I respect this forger's skill, I cannot abide a glut of fraudulent artifacts taking up my time and attention.
You think someone in the House Hexos produced this?
No, they're traders, not artisans. This is Daedric precision. I know a Spiderkith, Scrix. He's a small-time scoundrel who deals in stolen goods, counterfeit soul gems, that sort of thing. He might be able to point us in the right direction.
Oh, where can we find him?
He frequents the Wishbone, a tavern in the Shambles' northern alleys. Let's pay him a visit, shall we?
What more can you tell me about the Spiderkith?
He's a Spiderkith, which is to say he's a treacherous, deceitful sneak thief. Our personal history is contentious, full of double dealings and trickery. I've killed him more than once, but you know how these things are. It rarely takes.
If you hate each other so much, why is he going to agree to help us?
For the usual reasons. Simple greed and fear of punishment. Daedra may not die, but the process of reconstitution is not pleasant. I can also make business difficult for him. For Scrix, losing wealth may cause more pain than losing his life.
I do kind of like Devaith. He's like... sort of a no-nonsense type of... what would he... like... not scientist, not scholar... I mean, he is a scholar, but... he kind of reminds me of Sean Connery. in Indiana Jones. Just like an artifact, like an...
Settle yourself, Spriggs, and listen. I can make business very difficult for you if you don't.
Like an archaeologist who's been around to know all the tricks.
You with the Ash Elf fear? Got no business with you. Got no business with him. Better scuttle off, stomp you otherwise, and peel you off the boot flat.
Hey, we're not here to make trouble, okay? We just want to help want your help to find who made this counterfeit blade, okay?
Ebony Blade, huh? That's the mistress's hot cutter. Somebody hammering out fakes. Clever. Got no idea where it comes from. Don't care. Tell Fear he can find it himself.
DeVaith was threatening to make your life very difficult. Help us, and we could leave you alone for a bit.
Threats, huh? With Fear, it's always threats. Scritty elf with big head and tiny wits. Fine. We'll cast a signal line for it. Finding ritual. Can find anything with it. After this, Fear pays you and you scuttle off. Final offer.
What else can you tell me about the ritual, huh?
Nothing. Secrets of the skein. You find out the secret, you die. Quiet. Alone in the dark. Still want to know how it works?
Yep.
Then you're stupid. Enough talk. Put the sword on the table.
A seeking spider, eh? I do hope it works. For your sake. In fact, why don't you accompany my partner here? As a gesture of goodwill.
Lady's fangs. Did what you wanted. Cast the spell. Zafa. Let's go.
DeVaith?
A ghostly spider, hmm? A bit garish for my taste, but then we can't all be squinty, desiccated skein spawn, can we? Before you go, I have something to give you.
What is it?
A bauble I purchased before we set out for the shambles. Keep it near to hand. It may prove useful.
A sundial? What does it do here?
I pray you never have need to find out. Suffice it to say that it's insurance. Enough talk. Follow that spider. And don't take your eyes off Scrix. Not even for a moment.
And you're not coming?
Surely you don't require a chaperone. Scrix, while clever, is hardly a match for a warrior of your skill. No, I'm quite certain you'll be fine without me. I have other lines of inquiry to explore. I won't be far behind, I assure you.
Mm-hmm. Scrix?
Waiting on someone? Signal line won't stay fresh forever. Happy to stay here. Got better things to do than chase fake swords with you, Nernborn.
You're coming with me. What else can you tell me?
Signal line will show you how to use Ebony Blade. Just follow the spider. Simple, even for you mortals. You feel like giving up, just say so. Got better things to do.
All right. Let's go. And yes, it's the new DLC. Maybe up here.
This is the place. Answers behind that door. In you go.
In we go.
Artificer's table. See? Another Ebony Blade's right there. Have a look.
DeVaith, how'd you get here earlier?
A second Ebony Blade. It appears Scrix was as good as his word. So far. Examine the sword. Perhaps we can determine the nature of this artifice.
Flies in the wind. Hope you like the lair fear. You're never
Potent
leave.
magic, Scrix, but all too predictable. Quickly, assistant, use the sundial.
How's that a sundial?
What are you?
Well, Scrix, what the fuck did you do?
More talking? Just get on with it. Sooner you find what you're looking for, sooner fear's out of my webs.
What just happened?
What are you talking about?
We've been here before.
Not likely. Imagining things. Should get your head checked. Oblivion's no place for mortals. Scrapes your little brains raw. Torches in Skane Row? Liable to set webs on fire. Plum.
Did Deveth set up a freaking? Okay. He set up a time loop.
This is the place. Answers behind that door. In you go.
Mm-hmm.
Artificer's table. See? Another Ebony Blade's right there. Have a look.
Deveth?
A second Ebony Blade. It appears Scrix was as good as his word. So far. Examine the sword. Perhaps we can determine the nature of this artifice.
Hey, we've been here before.
Indeed. I assume it went poorly the first time.
Yeah, he just sprung a trap on us.
Then you used the sundial, yes? Excellent. Scrix has us at a disadvantage. I assume this is his lair, which means it abides by his rules. You must be prepared to counter whatever trap he springs on us.
I got a torch outside.
Ah, excellent. Spiderkith abhor fire. A single spark can set their entire world aflame. Wait for an opportune moment, then apply the torch.
All right.
A second Ebony Blade.
Flies in the wind. Hope you like the lair fear. You'll never
Webs,
leave.
use that torch, quickly!
Stop! Stop it! Lady, curse you!
Mm-hmm.
Not fire!
Burn.
Well done. A respectable attempt, Scrix. But it will cost you. Seems we're finished here. Meet me outside.
Couldn't I have you just, like, told him to kill him? Or couldn't I have just, like, attacked him before this?
And that appears to be that. Exemplary work. From the looks of things, our web-brained friend here planned to sell several more forgeries. Now that we've apprehended him, the flow of counterfeit artifacts should grind to a halt.
So what now?
Now, I provide you with the reward I promised, and we part company. Scrix and I have a great deal to discuss. I'd invite you to join us, but let's be honest. Carrying on a conversation with him is exhausting. You have my thanks, Sarah. Farewell. You know, despite his simple nature, Scrix displays a rare gift for counterfeiting. I can think of countless applications for such a skill. Alas. For all their power, the Daedra lack one vital trait. Imagination.
Do you think Scrix will answer your questions, though?
No, of course not. He'll squirm and curse and prevaricate until I banish him. But even a lying tongue tells some truths. He will give something away. He always does. I only wish the process wasn't so tiresome.
Scrix, you've been a bad boy.
Think you're clever. Clever like fear. But when you're dead, Scrix will still be here. Secrets never die. Schemes never end. Enjoy the victory. Mortals only get a few.
What do you think Fear plans to do with you, huh?
Doesn't matter. Probably talk like he always does. Ask questions. I'll lie. He'll cast his banishing magic. Won't last. We'll come back before long. Start all over again. Only ends when fear dies. And he will. Nurmlings always do.